Greetings to all of our members on our YouTube channel. This is Pastor Mark Biltz's question and answer time. Be sure and send in your questions, and then we will take time to answer them personally for each and every one of you. Our first question here is, hello, Pastor Mark, and greetings from Finland. It's so great to have you all the way from Finland listening in. Your question is, and I'm reading this for everybody's awareness, so when I answer it, they'll know the question. You're saying, I am so grateful that I have found your teachings. My question is, you once said we should not fear in the tribulation. If we look at the patterns, Noah was protected, Israel was protected. So what about Revelation 13:7? How do we interpret that? And God bless. Okay, well, let's read Revelation 13:7, and then I will give you my answer. Here it talks about the Antichrist, and he has power for 42 months, and he opens his mouth in blasphemy against God. And then it says it was given to him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. Okay, well, there's a couple of ways of looking at this. I guess, and this is more of a personal thing. It's not just a theological thing. But I've almost died so many times. I've had guns at my head twice that were threatening to kill me. I was in a major car accident and not buckled in, and I rolled my van over 100 yards, well, around 30 meters, and I was almost eaten by lions in Africa, and major malpractice by doctors almost killed me. So in one sense, I don't fear death. If it's not my time, it's not going to happen, and if it is my time, there's nothing I can do about it. So when it comes to fear, just like fearing God, that doesn't necessarily mean to be afraid, but to honor and to respect. Now, I guess because I don't have fear of death, I don't have to worry about that. To me, it's going to be just like changing clothes. I'm just going to go from one set of clothes to another set of clothes. Now, I think more people are probably afraid of how they're going to die, or that it might be a long process. But as far as dying, to me, that's no big deal. I guess the pain is what most people are afraid of. But the other thing that's interesting here, the Antichrist is making war with saints. And so it's like, well, now wait a minute. That means there are going to be saints here during the tribulation. Well, here's a whole nother theological thought. As you know, God is not a communist. God is not a socialist. And there are many saints, but they're not all equal. You have some that are producing 30-fold, 60-fold, 100-fold. In God's kingdom, there are different groups, I should say. You have the priests who are very close. You have the Levites who are not priests, but they are another class. And then finally you have the common Israelite. Well, this may come as a shock to people, but I don't think that all saints become the bride. I think just like the bride, Eve, taken from Adam, the whole body of Adam didn't become Eve. Part of Adam became the bride. Well, I don't believe the entire body of Christ is the bride. But at the same time, I would not be afraid of the Antichrist. I'd be at the point of the spear. When I go to the marriage supper of the Lamb, I don't want to be telling everybody that I was hiding behind a rock. So we also know, and I believe it's in Luke 12, around verse 37 or something, it talks about when the Messiah returns from the wedding, and then he has many saints that he serves. But guess what? They weren't at the wedding. I believe there's going to be the bride as part of the body. There's going to be people who attend the wedding as part of the body. And then there are going to be saints that go through the tribulation, and they get to attend after the wedding. And you see that in Luke 12. So I guess if I was going to be afraid of anything, my fear would be that I didn't have as close of a relationship with God as I should have had.